Welcome back to True Crime Documentary YouTube channel. In the quiet town of Cedar Ridge, North Carolina, Chief Daniel Royce was a man who wore two faces. Outwardly, he was a charismatic, well-respected figure, a man of the law dedicated to his community. At 45, with over 2 decades in service, he commanded admiration and trust. But behind the badge, Chief Royce harbored dark secrets that would soon be exposed, dragging the small town into a web of scandal, betrayal, and tragedy that would forever haunt its streets. Today we uncover the shocking tale of forbidden love, manipulation, and violence. Chief Royce's affair with a young waitress named Leah Harrison led to an unintended pregnancy, a revelation that would spark a chain of events no one saw coming. As we peel back the layers of this story, we delve into a twisted case that began as a secret and ended in bloodshed, rocking the town of Cedar Ridge to its core. Chief Royce was the face of Cedar Ridge's law enforcement. With his sharp appearance, quick smile, and commanding voice, he could ease a room of tension or silence a crowd with a single look. People saw him as more than just a figure of authority. He was a role model and a community pillar. Yet behind his professional demeanor lay a man tormented by his own demons. For months, he had been carrying on a secret affair with 19-year-old Leah Harrison, a vulnerable young waitress working at a diner near the sheriff's office. Leah was young, shy, and painfully insecure, trying to make a living in a world that seemed set against her. She had just graduated high school and had dreams of going to college, though her financial situation was bleak. The small, confined life of Cedar Ridge had never held much appeal to her, but it was all she had ever known. She often worked late shifts at the diner, living paycheck to paycheck and dreaming of escape. Chief Royce was a regular at the diner, and his kind words, steady gaze, and promises of security became a light in Leah's dark world. As the weeks turned into months, Leah became entangled in a relationship with Chief Royce, believing his promises of a better life. He assured her of financial support and even hinted at a future together, far from the judgmental eyes of Cedar Ridge. Leah felt cared for, valued, and for the first time in her life, hopeful, but she remained unaware of the storm brewing just beneath the surface. Daniel's wife, Maria Royce, was no stranger to his secrets, a respected teacher in town, and known for her kind and composed demeanor. She had long suspected her husband's infidelities. She was a woman of grace, known for keeping her family together with a quiet strength. But over the years, that strength had turned to resentment. Maria had endured countless whispers and sideways glances, each rumor about her husband slicing away at her pride. Yet she chose to stay, for the children, for the stability, and perhaps for the fear of facing the world alone. But with each new suspicion, her calm exterior cracked, leaving her feeling trapped in a life of betrayal and deceit. One evening, Leah discovered she was pregnant. In an instant, her hopeful dreams vanished, replaced by fear and uncertainty. She knew she couldn't handle a child alone, and Daniel's reaction to the news shattered any illusion she had about his affection. He quickly became distant and dismissive, no longer the warm and attentive man she once believed him to be. Instead of reassurance, she was met with anger, his promise of support fading like a mirage. Daniel's once charming facade crumbled as he realized the threat this child posed to his reputation, his career, and his marriage. Leah, terrified and feeling abandoned, found herself cornered. She could no longer rely on Daniel's support, and each day, the weight of her situation grew heavier. She began to withdraw, distancing herself from her friends and family, and soon, people in town started to notice her pale face and vacant stare. Whispers circulated as Cedar Ridge's residents speculated about Leah's strange behavior and Daniel's sudden tension. For Maria, the news of Leah's pregnancy was the final blow. Over the years, she had put up with Daniel's controlling nature, his frequent absences, and the rumors of his affairs. But learning about the child her husband had fathered with a girl young enough to be their daughter was more than she could bear. The anger and humiliation she had bottled up for so long erupted into a cold, calculated rage. She had spent years building a stable home for their children, standing by a man she could no longer respect. And now, as she looked at the life she had built, she felt nothing but the urge to destroy it. In the days leading up to his death, Chief Royce's once powerful, confident persona began to crack. He grew paranoid and irritable, snapping at his colleagues and distancing himself from his friends. His behavior became erratic, his focus slipping as the weight of his secrets threatened to pull him under. Leah's pregnancy was a ticking time bomb, and he knew it was only a matter of time before his carefully constructed life unraveled. On the morning of July 15th, 2010, the town of Cedar Ridge woke to shocking news. Chief Daniel Royce had been found dead in his home. It was his neighbor, George Hammond, who discovered the body. A retired postman and Daniel's longtime friend, George noticed something was wrong when he saw Daniel's front door slightly ajar. Concerned, he stepped inside and called out for Daniel, but there was no answer. As he ventured deeper into the house, he noticed signs of a struggle, cushions strewn across the floor, broken glass, and a trail of blood leading to the bedroom. When George reached the doorway, he froze in horror. Daniel lay sprawled on the floor, his body riddled with gunshot wounds. Blood splattered the walls, and the grisly scene was unlike anything George had ever witnessed. Shaking with fear, George backed out of the house and dialed 911, his voice barely steady as he reported the murder. Detective Sarah Halston, a 15-year veteran of Cedar Ridge's police force, arrived at the scene with her team. Known for her no-nonsense approach, Halston immediately assessed the chaotic crime scene. The house was a disaster, furniture overturned, glass shattered, and a pool of blood surrounding Daniel's lifeless body in the master bedroom. Daniel had been shot multiple times, including once in the chest and once in the groin. The wound to the groin stood out to Detective Halston, hinting at a deeply personal motive, a deliberate act of rage or revenge. As the forensics team combed through the evidence, it became clear that this was no random crime. There were no signs of forced entry, indicating that Daniel likely knew his attacker and had willingly let them in. The murder weapon, a service revolver, was found near his body, suggesting that someone close to him had used it. As Detective Halston and her team pieced together the evidence, they began to suspect that this was a crime driven by passion, betrayal, and desperation. Their suspicions led them to Maria Royce, Daniel's wife. Calm and composed during questioning, Maria denied any involvement in the murder, though her words revealed years of unhappiness, betrayal, and resentment. She admitted that her marriage had been in turmoil for a long time, and she had long suspected Daniel's infidelities. Her voice trembled as she recounted the years of humiliation and anger, yet she maintained that, despite her hatred for what he had done, she hadn't killed him. The police also questioned Leah Harrison, who described the complex, manipulative relationship she had endured with Daniel. She explained how he had promised her a future, a life of security and happiness, only to abandon her the moment she needed him most. Leah revealed that she felt trapped, isolated, and terrified, her dreams shattered by the man who had once been her escape, but she insisted that she had never intended for things to end in violence. The investigation took a darker turn when detectives discovered that Leah had once dated Daniel's son, Kyle Royce, a volatile young man with a reputation for trouble. Kyle, a 21-year-old known for his quick temper and reckless behavior, had been furious upon learning about his father's affair with Leah, especially after discovering that she was pregnant. The betrayal he felt was immense. His own father had not only stolen his girlfriend, but had also left her with a child. Friends recalled Kyle's explosive reaction, recounting a night when he stormed out of a bar, muttering darkly about taking matters into his own hands. As Detective Halston and her team unraveled the complex web of relationships and emotions, they realized that Kyle's motives for murder were as strong as anyone's. His father's actions had humiliated and enraged him, and his violent reputation added a new layer of suspicion. Yet without concrete evidence linking him to the crime, Kyle remained a suspect without proof. In the end, it was Maria Royce who broke. After hours of questioning, she confessed to the crime, her voice filled with a strange mixture of relief and sorrow. She explained that she had reached her breaking point on the night of July 14th, unable to tolerate Daniel's lies and manipulation any longer. The discovery of his affair with Leah and the news of her pregnancy had pushed her over the edge, and in a fit of rage, she had grabbed his revolver and shot him. Maria's trial became a sensation, drawing the attention of the entire community. Her defense argued that she had been driven to the breaking point after years of emotional abuse and betrayal, while the prosecution portrayed her actions as cold and premeditated. In January 2011, Maria was found guilty of second-degree murder and sentenced to 25 years in prison. The aftermath of the trial left Cedar Ridge scarred, as the townspeople grappled with the shocking revelations about a man they once revered. Leah Harrison and Kyle Royce, both struggling to move on from the tragedy, eventually rekindled their relationship, finding solace in each other as they tried to rebuild their lives. Maria's time in prison was marked by regret and reflection. She participated in therapy and tried to reconnect with her children, hoping that one day they would forgive her. Her actions had torn apart a family, shattered lives, and exposed the dark underbelly of Cedar Ridge's most respected figure. This tale of Chief Daniel Royce's betrayal, power abuse, and the consequences of his choices serves as a stark reminder of how even the most trusted individuals can harbor secrets that, once revealed, can tear lives apart. In Cedar Ridge, the story of a sheriff, a scandal, and a murder will be remembered for generations, a tragic testament to the complexities of love, betrayal, and revenge. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe. Be sure to check out our other videos for more captivating stories. Take care, and we'll see you in the next one.